Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to our podcast. This is Sisters on Love, Life, and Keeping It Real. I am Stephanie, aka Miss Adventures. I'm a love expert and coach, and I am here with my sister Tanya.
Hello, ladies. Good to be back. I just want to say, get your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's talk all about it. Today, I think a really good topic would be just touching on double standards in relationships.
This is
Yeah.
my favorite one.
This is heavy. So this is has a lot of substance to this topic. So
Yes, I mean this is one, ladies, we will be bringing up again because there's so many different levels
mhm.
to double standards, and honestly just different areas as well that double standards can appear in one's relationship. But where do you want to start, Tanya? What's a good place to start on this one?
Oh man. Well, we can start with there's so many things. There's double standards in let's just say you're in a relationship, there's double standards as far as how your male partner, so this is for the ladies, your male partner feels when he goes out or how he handles his go out versus what your go out looks like. I think that's really a big one because there always seems to be conflict in what that looks like.
Oh, absolutely. I've been with men who will place that double standard where it's like, you can't go out over the weekends. That's date night. No, not date night. That's single time, like where people go out, when they're single and they go out
Mm-hmm.
on a prowl. So no, I'm not okay if you go out. But then all of a sudden there will be something that will be open for them to spend time with their friends and go out
Mm-hmm.
on a weekend, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
they just choose to, I don't know, go get gas for their car on a Saturday night and you find out they're at a bar. I mean,
Yeah. It could be
it
lots of things. And just to touch on that you say, because it's actually hilarious. But I think for women, we don't expect that our man is going to say anything when he goes to check the mail, right? You go to check the mail, we know you're coming back. If you took the dog for a brief walk, okay, you took the dog for a brief walk, or you might mention that and you're coming back. So little things. But when someone just up and disappears, right? Like they went, as you said, maybe to get gas, and next thing you know, they're at a friend's house or a cousin's house or the bar. It's interesting because to me that double standard is if you dare, right? So if a woman was to dare just disappear and haven't said a word, and you get a phone call and like, oh yeah, I'm just down the street at my girlfriend's house. I mean, it's amazing at what that would look like for them. But that's even just when you're out. Do they call different? So it's like when they're out, them not calling, maybe and checking in or saying things. But then when you're out, your phone's blowing up. You can barely have time with your friends, right? Because they're calling and calling or FaceTiming or seeing what's really going on. But then you give them a different respect when they're out. You don't blow them up. You want them to know what that feels like so that you can get that same in return, which doesn't always happen. So,
Oh, and that's an interesting one because that actually is again, everything we're talking about is going to be another topic for later as well.
mm-hmm,
But it's interesting because when you are dating a guy, a huge red flag right there, and Tanya just mentioned it, is, when you're out, he'll blow up your phone, be like, what are you doing? Why aren't you calling me? I haven't spoken to you in like what, 15 minutes. And you're just like, I'm out with my girlfriends, calm down.
yeah.
But on the flip side is it's like when you're trying to call them, all of a sudden they don't answer their phone. They're not
Mm-hmm,
around. Or like Tanya said, how their behavior changes. All of a sudden they're out with their friends, they're out for, 5, 7, 10 hours, can't pick up the phone once to call you, even though
mm-hmm,
normally you talk to them a lot. But all of a
mm-hmm,
sudden they are, out of sight, out of mind. But yet, if you're out with your friends, it's like Tanya said, blowing up your phone all the time.
mm-hmm,
So that's a
mm-hmm,
red flag. That's a control issue that you should be aware of in your relationships.
mm-hmm.
That double standard is an example
Is
of
a form of
control. It's
control.
a
It
form of
is, because double
control.
standard is a form of control because it's different from men don't wear what we wear, right? So we have lots of options. They have jeans, some dress pants or shorts, right? We have a
T-shirts.
lot of options, right? That can make us, it doesn't mean they don't look good when they're dressing more up than down or vice versa. But it's like we have different options, and it can be like they don't want you, only dress in a certain way when you're around them. Um, from the going out thing, double standards on even jobs. I mean, a woman can, they can work whatever job or a social job, right? That's going to bring a lot of women around. And then it's like, wait a minute, they almost want your ass working at home only, right? But they want you in this, what kind of environment are you going to be in, or what are you wearing to work today, or what do you, if you're in the office. So even just those things, and yes, it can look like control. I mean, it's double standards, basically.
Oh yeah, you should never have to explain what you're wearing. My philosophy is, this is how I was dressing when I met you. So if you were not okay with that when I met you, then I'm not going to change that, because, I feel, how you met me is how you met me, right? And I'm not saying, okay, granted, if you're younger and you're dressing very, very, very risque because you're doing that to hopefully get the attention of a single male, you might be changing that or tweaking that slightly, because when you're going out and you're with your guy, I feel, for me, I dress I dress for myself, but he's the bonus of like, oh, he likes what I'm wearing. He's telling me I look sexy. I'm not going out there and dressing even more,
extreme when you're not with him, right?
When I'm not with him, because I'm not going out there to be trying to find another man. I'm going out to hang out with my girlfriends. So I'm not going to dress differently from what I normally dress when I hang out with my girlfriends, which is probably similar to when he first met me. Maybe there's a tweak depending on my age at the time that we're talking about. I mean, now that I'm older, I'm not dressing to show and flaunt stuff. Again, if that's you, do your thing, right? Do your thing. Because I do feel like women, we are all beautiful in our own way. I feel like, we are always trying to deflect from getting judged on what we're wearing. Also that whole double standard, like, Tanya was saying, it's like a guy can be one way and then try to control what you're wearing, which is not okay. But
what's funny about that is that I feel like, and I tell my current man that I'm in a relationship with, it's funny because I get more hit on when I look a hot damn mess in the grocery store than if I would have dressed up, right? Because I hear this, they look at you and they're like, well, if it gets any better than this, right? This is as worse as it can get, right? With your hair up, no makeup, whatever you didn't put together to put on, they can only imagine, when it gets better. So I feel like it's almost even, and just on a slight note, it's also in women that have children can relate. When you're pregnant, it's weird how you get more attention pregnant than when you weren't pregnant. You're like, everybody wants to be the baby daddy, but it's funny because I don't know what that is, but it's just, whether it's a glow you're having, whenever it's awkward. But I feel like if you're not dressed up, you get the more attention. So the dressing up and going to the store, somebody might not say a word.
Right.
So,
yeah. And you never know when you're going to get hit on. I mean, honestly, I don't really think it's really the outfit per se at all. And so when there's that control piece, that double standard piece of like, I can wear this, I can look this way, I can look sharp when I go out, I dress to the nine when I go out. But when you go out with your girlfriends, I expect you to be wearing rags, you know what I mean? Or bundled up, or, like on lockdown. So, ladies, I just feel, with double standards, it's a red flag. It's a red flag when somebody consistently has those in the relationship. Will there be some here and there potentially, but I feel like if it becomes, more about that, meaning 90% of your relationship is a double standard. It's always about what they can do, but what you can't. That's a huge flag for you to look on and say, okay, am I with the right person? Because the right person should be making me feel comfortable, and the right person should be making me feel protective, but not where I feel like I'm
shutting
locked
you
down.
down. Shutting you down and making you not yourself anymore.
Right.
So you find that it almost becomes, it can be the opposite. And now you're living for them, versus like who you were before. And that can even go through in a relationship, but don't stand on conversation. They can talk to you one way, but they want you to come to them a different way. Even if it's raising voice, like you're raising your voice, and it's like, but you were just raising your voice at me. So I mean, it's those things of, you're right. You do have to address those and talk about those and make sure that those don't become a major issue. Because double standards overall, I mean, it really is. It looks like control, and it can shut one person down, and now you're not yourself. And it's like, but this person's getting the world. And what does that look like?
Yes. Nobody wants to feel like a bird in a cage, lady. Nobody wants to feel like a bird in the cage. Yeah. So thank you for joining us. This has been a great topic. We are going to honestly, this is going to be a topic that's going to come up obviously more than once, because it has so many different entities around it. We're so excited. By the way, we have a book that's coming out, Miss Adventure's Guide to Ultimate Empowerment for Women. Harness your power and thrive in every area of your life. This book is scheduled to be published October 17th. I'm the lead author. Tanya is a co-author with me. I've said this before. Her story is absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing. So thank you everyone for listening to us. We feel so blessed to have our podcast finally out there.
Yes.
We're accepting comments. If you have a topic that you want us to talk about, or just something that's going on in your life, please share with us. We'd love to hear about it. You can email us at sisters, keeping it real. I think that's what we just made it. Sorry. Sisters keeping it real 22 at gmail.com. I'm almost positive that's correct. we just made this email. But thank you. We so appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.